My name is Dr. Charles Emrys, and I'm a psychologist working in New Brunswick. And what I'd like to do is speak to you about residential treatment for conduct disordered or behaviorally disordered youth. Behaviorally disordered kids represent a really important percentage of mental health care consumers. They present an important challenge to the care systems that we have for children and youth. The conduct disorder kids, first of all, they present challenges in schools, they present challenges in the community, but it's often very difficult to find places for them to live, for them to be able to reside. When their families break down, and that's often the case, other systems of care have to be mobilized. It's worthwhile thinking a little bit about what happened years ago. Before the development of the more modern healthcare systems, these kids were often worked with within extended family systems. By that I mean that uncles and aunts and grandparents and cousins and family friends would kind of get together and try to find the best residential option for that child who was having problems with his behavior. And the families were often quite successful in doing so. I had the opportunity to see that in action actually in a number of African villages, where the village community really took charge of these kids and found options that seemed to work. With the development, however, of modern healthcare systems, and particularly with the success of the hospital system, hospitals have been an incredible success story when it comes to physical health. The development of surgery, the development of medical units, the development of advanced diagnostics, all of those things have made hospitals really incredible success stories. And it was natural, I guess, for us to think that we could apply the same kinds of solutions when it came to conduct disordered and behaviorally disordered youth. We thought, well, we'll just kind of create a hospital for them. And we did in all kinds of different ways. And attempts at this have been ongoing for over 100 years. And if we count orphanages, even for longer than that. The idea was that if you're not able to function within your family, we can take you into a specialized place with a lot of really smart people who will make you better and allow you to come back. This thinking has been pervasive and is still very prominent within our community. The question we have to ask is, does it work? And we were horribly slow at actually conducting good research on the question. But we did eventually get around to it. And I'll have on the website a bibliography that you can access to kind of review the literature for yourself. But basically what we found is that these places did not work. And we were stunned. We were surprised, and we were kind of flabbergasted over A, what the reasons were, and B, what the options were. But there's no doubt that in the more restrictive, the more large-scale, the more hospital-like the system, the less well it works. Well, to respond to that in a way, there was the proliferation of the group home program idea, where we would have smaller homes with staff that would essentially try to, in the community, work with these kids and help them grow up and release them to the community. We thought, well, maybe that will work because they're less sequestrated, less separated from their community, more into the school system or into the community. Unfortunately, the research on that is also showing that we are not succeeding. The kids who are graduates from those programs are having a great deal of difficulty sustaining employment, avoiding addictions, and succeeding with their families. The one system that has worked best is the foster family. The foster family has come out as probably the most functional and the most successful residential option that we have for conduct disordered kids. This is teaching us a basic lesson. The basic lesson is that the closer you are to growing up in a normal family, the better your outcome will be. In this next section, I want to talk a little bit about foster care, about what works and why it works, and what are the most modern advanced options for pursuing this system of care so that our kids are better served.